Today's session is connecting to our portal and online classes. In 10 minutes or less, we'll get you some of the key information that you need for accessing those services, what you should be looking for, what's on there. And then there'll also be a portion at the end for the Q&A. And then Jill Johnson from eLearning is here as well, in case there are some more technical questions that perhaps I'm not familiar with, as well as she's going to be monitoring the chat as I'm sort of jabbering on. So, so happy to be here and looking forward to moving through this session with you all. I'm going to switch screens now, so you'll see me jump out of here for a second. And then I'll share a different screen and basically walk through what it is that you'd be walking through to get into your online classes, as well as our, what I'm calling our portal, which is EICC Connect. So in order to get to our portal, you'll start at our website. So eicc.edu. And then this navigation bar right here at the top is EICC Connect here at the very far right side. That gets you to our portal. When you click onto that, then your screen here will pop up. What you'll need to do is enter in your username and password. If for some reason it's either your first time doing it or you forget your credentials, there is some information there from the help desk for accessing your account. So don't worry about that if in case that's your situation. Then this screen here is EICC Connect, or what I'm calling our portal. And there's a couple things to note for your resources. So right here, there's changes and cancellations to classes. Now, if you're taking predominantly online classes, you're unlikely to find any cancellations just due to the nature of asynchronous courses. Those usually will run without a problem. However, if you're taking a combination of classes, maybe some on a physical campus and some online, this is where you could check out that information, and it will let you know what classes canceled, what campus, if there's office hours, that kind of thing. Then you see in the middle here, a little bit further down, is some events. And so since I'm connected to our Scott campus, I see the Scott events. If you were connected to our Muscatine, our Clinton campus, you would see their events. These are usually college-wide events, but particularly also very student-driven. So you'll see a lot of things like the Welcome Back events here, as well as our mental health counseling and sports games. Then on the far left side is some important resources. So getting connected to your academic advisor, and then a couple of notices specifically pertaining to some of our withdrawal policies due to COVID-19. Then important links, and this is kind of one of the more important sections. If you have taken ALEX with us, the math placement assessment, you're already familiar with this. But this contains getting to your email, getting to self-service, which has a lot to do with financial aid, bill pay, as well as registration and scheduling and degree planning. But then what we're here for the rest of today to talk about is Canvas classes, okay? So if you click onto this second important link, it's called My Classes Canvas. Again, Canvas is what's powering our online classes. So that's just another term to keep in mind, similar to EICC Connect. So as you click onto that, up will pop this lovely little screen here. Any important announcements will be here. If you read that announcement and you're not exactly sure what it is or how it pertains to you, don't stress out about it, right? It usually has to do with a lot of bigger sort of organization things, like when classes are beginning, that kind of thing. Then there's a couple ways to see your courses. So one is the dashboard. However, depending on how things are, maybe not all of your courses will show up here. And then you can also look in this courses tab, okay? So this far left-hand side that is in the black and red, that's like, think of that as your campus. That's going to get you back to all of your classes. If you get kind of lost within one course and you're not exactly sure where to go, you can always click back to your dashboard. It gets you back to the screen, back to your campus, and then you can go back into your classes. For the purposes of this training, we are going to be doing this course entitled Student Training Course. It's modeled after a course that we do offer here. And so it's going to look and feel like a real course, even though I get to mess around and it doesn't matter. So then you just click right onto it and you get into your course. Now, number one, most important thing, first day of class, get into your course. It does not mean that you're going to spend 12 hours working on homework the first day of class. That's very unlikely, but every instructor is going to have perhaps a little bit of a different way of layout. They're going to have different due dates. They're going to have different types of assignments. And especially if you're managing more than one course, or if you're managing outside responsibilities, you're going to want to get in the first day, get a feel around before it starts becoming, oh shoot, when is this due? What do I have to do here? Oh, the kids are sick. Oh, work called me in for another shift. This just helps you plan ahead before the semester crunch. So again, this is the course, and these are the course navigation here on this sort of middle left-hand side. Then this black bar here, that again navigates you in all of Canvas, or what you can think of as like your entire campus. Okay, so here we're in a classroom, then you're in a campus. So this is sort of the home screen. It may look different in different courses, but the way this instructor has set it up is just a nice little welcome message, letting us know what the course is about, and giving a brief description of that. And then we also have announcements. Okay, so these are usually used for really important things that your instructor wants you to see right away. And they usually pertain to the whole class. So it's not going to be an announcement saying, Claire, you missed your quiz, but it will be an announcement saying, hey, everyone, the quiz is due in, a day. So you can click on that to see the full message if you want to. And then this can sometimes be where once you start clicking on things in your Canvas class, then you're like, oh, shoot, where do I go? Just go home. Okay, if you get like lost and frustrated and stressed, just go home. And that will take you right back to that welcome screen where I decided to click on the announcement and kind of get you there. Now, over on the right-hand side is this kind of to-do list. Now, this can be sort of a good thing and a bad thing. And this is what I mean by that. So it's a good thing in that it's organizing everything that you have to do based on your due date. It's a bad thing, or maybe sometimes an unhelpful thing, in that these are just the assignments. So this isn't necessarily the full workload that you need to do in your course. And sometimes if you click straight into the assignment, you can feel pretty overwhelmed because you haven't done the prep work, you haven't attended the lecture or done the exercises to get ready for the discussion or the quiz or the paper. But again, it's a time management strategy. So I do find it helpful to keep those there. But rather than clicking right into them from the to-do section, I suggest clicking into them from the modules. Your modules are your lessons, the chapters in a textbook, that kind of thing. Just think of them as your semester schedule. So we'll click into that. And as you can see, you've got some initial information before you start getting into the chapters. Okay, so the initial information, if you're taking an online course, it's very likely that you'll end up using a VitalSource digital textbook, a couple of really helpful guides of how to access that, what to do, as well as how to opt out. You're not required to use the digital textbook. Many people find it easier because it's embedded right in your course, and you don't have to worry about picking up a book at the bookstore or ordering it. It goes right to your course. Then here's a welcome. Again, this would be your information that you would look at kind of like your first day, right? When you go into class and you think of like someone's welcoming you to class, explaining the class, that's what this is right here. Okay. And those are kind of the most important things to do on that first day when you're logging into class, is make sure you go through the initial resources and modules before you kind of get into the assignments. Okay. That will really help break things down. And it really depends on different ways that different instructors will organize their course shell, you might take 3 different classes and they may look slightly different. But again, they're all powered by Canvas. So they have a lot of the same organization going on. And here is kind of what I was talking about. You have a chapter introduction. You have some notes, PowerPoints, flashcards. So you have a lot of information to work with before going into your quiz. So if you were to just click onto that to do, like, oh, shoot, I better do this thing, all of a sudden you've missed most of the information you need to be able to do that. Or maybe you're in the wrong class if you can do all the information without going through the notes. Another note about instructors, different sort of styles. So I mentioned, like, you know, your course might be organized a little bit differently, that kind of thing. The syllabus is where you want to go to get all of that information. Okay, so in addition to the sort of welcome information that your instructor may have here in the modules, make sure to click on your syllabus. Okay, and what this is going to do is it is going to make sure that you know exactly how the class is organized and exactly what the different policies are. So you're not going to be lost. Oh, I see someone in the chat. Why are there 2? Very good question. So in your class, you will not have 2 different syllabi. The thing that the syllabus that Canvas uses now is the simple syllabus. However, a simple syllabus is only for a real class that is currently running. So what Jill did to help me with this is just uploaded a previous syllabus. So if you were to log into your class, you would not have to worry about 2 different syllabus. Or if you happen to see that, please just click on simple syllabus. If you get confused, just remember, like, simple is best. So you will, yeah, Jill already answered that. So it's for the active course. This is for display purposes only. Fantastic question. So as you go through, look at some of the information, obviously, some of this important information, course description, student learning outcomes, right? That's what you can expect to learn by the time the semester is over. Requirements of technology, your resources, and then also different types of help, right, that you can use for technology, how you can expect the instructor to work, right? So what are their teaching strategies? What are their attendance expectations? And just different ways that this course will be run. And so this is your roadmap to the course. This is your understanding about what, how the course is going to, how you're going to be evaluated, right? How are you going to be graded? What are the expectations? And this is really the main kind of document that you want to refer back to throughout the semester, but certainly look at it at the beginning of the term. For example, this section here, assignment and exam expectations, there might be different days of the week that different assignments are due, different times, and that will help you plan your schedule around everything else in your life. Usually makeup policies, class behavior policies, and then usually we'll also include some information, then the course schedule, right? What you can expect to do. But again, if you ever have a question about how much is this worth? What does this matter? When is this due? You should see a lot of that information in the course syllabus. So there's plenty more that we could go through as far as the details of Canvas, as far as additional resources. But this session is really geared towards ensuring that you're comfortable that first day of class, getting into your course and navigating your course. Throughout the rest of the term, we'll be doing additional webinars about extra resources and other things that you have at your disposal for our online resources. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Thank you all so much for joining, and especially thank you to Jill from eLearning for helping to support this webinar and and tons of what we do on the online learning side. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.